All right, question number 15. Amadeus says, I'm 31, living with my unbelieving parents. They're pushing me to get a real job, but I feel like I should continue volunteering to keep a foundation alive that's barely holding on. Any biblical advice? Let me give you biblical advice that is not going to be fun at all. I'm sorry. I don't mean it to not be fun. Let me see if I can find this. This is 2 Thessalonians 3:10. For even when we were with you, we would give you this command. If anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat. I understand the desire to do ministry, but you're currently mooching off your parents, and you're a 31-year-old man is requiring them to pay for your life, and they're not Christians. So this is like a tax of you're bringing. I'm so sorry. Forgive me for bringing it this way, Amadeus. I love you, brother. If your parents were supportive, if they were like, we want to support you, we think it's part of our calling to take care of you, so you can do this ministry thing with all your time, and you can take care of this foundation that's just barely holding on, then it would be totally appropriate. Then it would be fine because they're sponsoring you like a missionary, right? Like doing ministry. But that's not the situation. Instead, they're unbelievers who don't want to keep paying for your way, and you're kind of, imposing on them, mooching off them, so that you can then do ministries they don't believe in. I think that this is a situation where you gotta get a job. You gotta get a job, and that ministry that's hanging on, that it can't be supported financially, you could volunteer with your extra time. I've done this. Much of my ministry life was just volunteering and not getting paid for things. And I'd work other jobs and volunteer over here. And that's fine. I was a youth pastor for a season where I worked a full-time job, and I was basically a full-time youth pastor. At least every waking moment that I wasn't at work, I was doing ministry stuff. That's okay. But if that ministry folds because you're doing the right thing of working to make a living, to pay your own way, to not mooch off of others, then that's okay. That's okay. Every ministry doesn't have to always survive. Every year there's going to be new ministries rising and old ones dying out because they existed for a season. There's a time where my ministry will no longer be active, and that's okay. And you don't need to, rob others to keep this ministry going, who are people who are not supporting it. So I'm going to say, I encourage you to get a job. And as much as you love this ministry, you can still volunteer with any extra time you have. But I think they're asking you to do the right thing, Amadeus. Yeah. So that's my thoughts. Take it as counsel, one brother to another. Even Paul the Apostle, there's a time in Corinth where he built tents when he could have been doing ministry. That means there were Bible studies he never taught. There was evangelism he never did because he was building tents to support his way, because that support wasn't going to come through the local community, because he wasn't going to ask for it at that point for evangelism reasons. And I think for the sake of you being a witness to your family, you should probably just get a job.